Sawasdee Krap and welcome to another Wrestling Wednesday on a weekend. Still, you know why? Because Smackdown has moved to Fridays and I'm still not renaming the segment because I like the sound of Wrestling Wednesday. So here on a Saturday, Wrestling Wednesday, because you know what time it is. And you know what time it is? We start with the premier wrestling show of the week. Of course, we start with AEW Dynamite. So let's just talk about AEW Dynamite, a road rager, first time out of Daily's place in like a year or so, on the road again in Miami, party in the city where the heat is on, you know it. And we started with a terrible match. Cody Rhodes. It was so nice last week without Cody. Sorry, Cody. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in, let me check, I wrote it down, a South Beach strap match. Because, of course, straps are very common in South Beach. Hey! What? I don't know why it's called. I mean, they are in South Beach and so they have a strap, but what's this obsession with strap matches? Yes, I understand the history of Dustin doing this and so on, but in 2021, do people really still care about strap matches? I think there was more, I know, intimidating or intense when wrestling was more about like brute force and strength, and you're like, yes, slap him hard. But now with all the moves and stuff, I don't think strap matches are that interesting anymore. At least not for me. I'm not a big fan of strap matches, chain matches, or whatever. It's BS. I don't like it because they never use it to its full extent. So if you would want, if you have a weapon, damn, use it. Yeah, choke the guy out and then it's okay, but they never actually do it. So it was a big back and forth in the beginning, of course. Eventually, however, towards the end of the match, Cody had the upper hand. QT Marshall and eventually would spit at him again, and then Cody would hit a few moves again, like 3 crossroads or whatever, and then he would hit like all the 4 corners of the ring, indicating that he won. Congratulations, Cody. Oh, yeah, the one moment that I hated, of course, was when Cody Rhodes was hulking up. So QT Marshall hit him with whatever punches, whatever it was, and Cody just no sells and just hulks up like, yeah. Those times are over. The hulking up times. I don't think anyone still wants to see this. I mean, the crowd was like, yeah, of course, in the moment it's kind of fun. Reminds you of Hulk Hogan, but when you think about it, you're like, the fuck? So yeah, congratulations, Cody Rhodes, for bringing AEW again one step closer to WWE. Congratulations. Then we had Shawn Spears talking trash, of course, to Sammy Guevara, and Sammy then catches the chairman with the chair shot and the gotcha bitch. So yeah, good, well done. We then get Tony with the mic. Of course, this happens quite a lot, obviously, a bit too much at times. He introduces Kenny. Kenny still with the porn look. The Young Bucks got rid of it, more on this later. Don Callis talks a bit of smack, of course, and the crowd chants like, we want Hangman, of course. Then they run down Hangman, then Dark Order comes out, Evil Uno talks, then Kenny Omega with a stupid joke that this podcast is based in Bangkok, Thailand. It's not very welcome here. He's like, hey, Evil Uno, what's the capital of Thailand? And Evil Uno is like, first of all, why don't you know? But then, yeah. And then Kenny Omega kicks him in the balls and says, like, it's Bangkok. And Kenny Omega, come to my gym. We need to talk. Not funny. Also really not funny. Objectively not funny. Anyway, so then Cowboy, then the Gallows, Anderson and so on, of course, is getting involved, and then eventually Hangman Adam Page comes out, clears house, and then is on the ropes, like, yeah, buckshot lariat, but then he just stares down Kenny, gets in the ring, stares him down, and then eventually Kenny Omega leaves. So yeah, will we get it now eventually? Will we eventually get Hangman's comeback into the title picture, taking on Kenny Omega, kicking out of the One-Winged Angel as the first man in AEW and becoming the new champion? Yes. That will be awesome. Before we go there, though, down the road, we watched the second match of the night with FTR and Wardlow versus Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz. That was nice. Santana and Ortiz and FTR, of course, great tag team wrestlers. So fast-paced back and forth, but also lots of power moves, of course, FTR style, obviously. Little bit of like lucha involvement there, Santana and Ortiz, of course. And then with the big guys, Jake Hager and Wardlow, they just went at each other in between. It looked like the Pinnacle guys would have the upper hand because Jake Hager actually had the ankle lock in, but then for some tumultuous scenes, I can't really remember what exactly happened, but eventually the FTR hit Jake Hager in the big rig. That's how they call it in AEW, right? The big rig, and then they had the 1, 2, 3 and take the victory. Then afterwards, Conan would hit Wardlow. I say it again with a mat ball. Wardlow totally no-sells it, and then Tully Blanchard hits Conan with a top block. Hey, yeah. The match was fine. I'm not the biggest fan of like those big guys just being big guys, but FTR and Santana and Ortiz are great. So fun match. The ending, but the match was fun to watch. And then we get a weird, because I didn't expect to get a weird segment of Machine Gun Carl Anderson talking or hyping himself up for his bout against Jon Moxley for the IWGP United States Championship next week. So yeah, first of all, don't forget Jon Moxley is still IWGP champion, and Carl Anderson apparently sometimes a singles wrestler. So for some reason, Carl Anderson gets the shot at the IWGP title. Nevertheless, Carl Anderson is a great wrestler. I think he's underrated. So I'm looking forward to this. This should be a fun jab hand style, I'm sure, match. So this will be fun. I'm looking forward to this, actually, even though it comes out of nowhere. Then we have the face-off between MJF and Chris Jericho. Of course, the crowd chants Judas and sings along with Judas in my mind. Lots of people don't know the lyrics. So how do you still not know the lyrics, by the way? Then a fan tries to jump to the ring, and while security tries to hold him back, Jericho just like jabs or like elbows or whatever him a little bit so that he falls off the apron. So it's nice. MJF plays into that. And that was kind of fun. Of course, and MJF runs down the crowd, runs on everything. And Chris Jericho eventually says, "Yeah, man, just tell me what I have to do. I'm going to do anything to just get my hands on you again. Just like, I would even have sex with your mother again." The crowd goes, ooh. So it was a fun back and forth of insults, of course. So then MJF says his favorite feud of Chris Jericho was against Moxley, where Jericho made Moxley fight all of Jericho's stooges before he could actually fight Jericho, and that's what he's going to do as well, and has to win every match, of course. And then Jericho signs it, and MJF says, yeah, but I'm from New York, and in New York deals are only official if you shake hands. And you can see Jericho doesn't want to shake his hands. He's like, okay, shake hands. Then they shake hands, and then Jericho hits the Judas effect, which is basically a spinning back elbow on MJF, and MJF is out cold. Okay, then we go back, lots of breaks again. I'm not a big fan of this, but likely you can fast forward. Then when we're back, we see Dr. Britt Baker. Say it with me. DMD. Exactly. She's upset that her sidekick, can I say sidekick, is hurt. She said Tony Khan should feel terrible, and she makes him millions. And for what? So that Vicky Guerrero can bring in Andrade El Idolo? What the hell? So she's really mad. She says he should enjoy his blood money, and maybe next week AEW Dynamite can take place in Saudi Arabia. Awesome promo, Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMT. Fantastic work. I love it. Great. Yeah, definitely. Sure, I hope she stays the face of the women's division for a while. Then we get Andrade El Idolo's debut in the ring against Matt Sydal. Great back and forth again, like very fast paced, but also some really good technical wrestling, some mat wrestling back and forth, exchanging of holds. Really nice, really good to see. Eventually, of course, Andrade El Idolo gains the upper hand, is more vicious, the running knee to the back of the head when Sydal is in the corner, of course. And so then he picks up the victory with the hammerlock flatliner in the end, and then after the match even like hits the inverted arm bars just to add some salt to the wound, and it's like showing off like, yeah, I'm the new heel in town, I'm gonna kick everybody's ass. So fun match, expected outcome, but that was okay. Then we see a quick recap of the history between Matt Hardy and Christian Cage. Yeah, And well, they're gonna battle in I think 1 or 2 weeks on night 1 of Fyter Fest. So it's next week, night 1 of Fyter Fest. Not too keen on seeing Matt Hardy in the ring again, to be honest. For lots of involvement, I'm assuming. I just want to see Christian Cage in like a one-on-one again, like, but maybe not against Matt Hardy. Anyways, then back Tony again in the ring. And it's a weird segment. He's like talking to Arn Anderson about like some random stuff. Hey, Arn Anderson, must feel good to be back here, blah, blah, blah. Arn Anderson, I just have whatever. I think did he forget his words? I'm not sure, his text. Then everything goes black and then the light goes back on. And then there is Malachi Black in the ring with that spinning back kick to Arn Anderson. Then Cody comes in, spinning back kick to Cody. Malachi Black stands tall and is all elite. Black, the spinning back kick is a black mass, right? That's what they call it. So black mass to Arn Anderson, black mass to Cody, standing tall, ready to get buried in a match with Cody soon. Nice. Then we had the worst match of the night, which was the Blade and the Bunny versus Orange Cassidy and Kris Statlander. Why? Because I'm sorry, but the Bunny is not great. And I know everyone comes to her defense, and I think Arn Anderson defended her last week, or 2 weeks ago, but everything she does is just so slow. So it's like, why is the opponent not moving out of the way and so on? So the selling is just not great. I'm sorry, of course she's a better wrestler than I would be, but like from a fan point of view, I'm just not sold on it. Of course here then every time the gender... And gender is just a social concept, by the way. So, but every time the gender changes in the ring, then the other team also has to change. So then it was always Orange Cassidy against the Blade and the Bunny versus Kris Statlander. It all came down to the end when I forgot when Kris Statlander attacked herself in eventually. The Orange Cassidy being out and then would just hit the Big Bang Theory on the Bunny and take home the victory. The match was okay, but Alexander Bunny is just a tad bit slow, so it doesn't look as convincing, I believe. So when I say it's the worst match of the night, it's not terrible. It's just like at the end of like good matches. That's at the end. Sorry. Then you have the main event, AEW World Tag Team Championship street fight between Penta El, Cesaro, Miedo, and Eddie Kingston versus the former Pawn Brothers, now again the Young Bucks, because they shaved, unlike Kenny Omega. And this was fun. This was great match. It was fantastic. It was watch it. Best match of the night, of course, because Penta, El Cesaro, Miedo is involved, and the Young Bucks. And there's so many near falls. And also how they take out, what's his name, Brian Cutler, the stooge of the Young Bucks, with like a spray. They have him caught and he keeps spraying and have him on the shoulder to powerbomb him and he keeps just spraying. It's fantastic. This guy right now building his brand as well. So this is awesome. Then of course eventually all the elite members are there to interfere, of course, and then to. You think Eddie and Penta would have won it, of course, but then they take out the referee several times. They splash, frog splash on the referee, pull out the referee, KO the referee, new referee, they pull him out again, and so on. So Penta and Eddie Kingston should have won several times, but thanks to interference, they don't win. Eventually, Eddie Kingston introduces thumbnails, and you know that always the guy who introduces thumbnails will eventually suffer the most from the thumbnails. But before we see Penta going through the thumbnails, like one of the Young Bucks go through the thumbnails, but eventually they take out Penta and it comes down, distraction again, and then it comes down to, was it Matt Jackson, Nick, one of the Young Bucks then putting thumbnails into the mouth of Eddie Kingston, super kick to the face, and then that's enough to take out Eddie Kingston, and 1, 2, 3, and the Young Bucks retain. This was a fantastic match. The Young Bucks as heels are awesome because then they keep the spot monkeying to like a minimum, but they're great with like the heel tactics. Brandon Cutler, that's his name. Brandon Cutler, great as a stooge with the spray still. Don Callis on commentary, everything fits. Penta and Eddie Kingston, great baby faces in this case. So fantastic match, A+++. If I would give if I would give grades here, Dave Meltzer probably gives it 3 stars. Should be 5. It was great. It was fun. Young Bucks continue with the reign of terror, though, but that was fun. I appreciated this quite a lot. All right. Great show again. Main event being the best match. That's how it's supposed to be. But overall, pretty fun. I was glad watching it, and I didn't fast forward much. Unlike in SmackDown, where I did fast forward quite a few times. The best thing again in all of SmackDown, of course, still the Edge and Roman Reigns thing. And eventually, well, before we go there, surprisingly, Jimmy Uso was there because like he had his DUI, right? Again, it's not the first time, so could have been suspended, but apparently the storyline is more important than setting precedents, so he's still there. And Jey Uso came back and he's like, yeah, Uso, we're doing what we're doing. Keep doing what we're doing, Uso, which means driving drunk, I guess. So they keep doing this. Roman Reigns then tells him, okay, Edge called me out. I'm going to go out there alone all by myself. I'm going to confront him. And of course, that's not happening. The Usos think it's a trap, so they come out. Roman Reigns is not happy. Then Edge gets in the ring with Roman Reigns gets in the ring with Edge. They're battling with each other. And then the Usos try to get involved, but then out come the Mysterios. They hit the Usos, then they're fighting. The Usos take out the Mysterios, then hit Edge again, but the Mysterios fight back and forth. Roman Reigns retreats from the ring, leaves the Usos in the ring, and then Edge and the Mysterios, of course, dominate the Usos, and Edge has again this bar from the chair, puts it in the face of Jey Uso first. So he had Roman, Jimmy and Jey in that lock, then he moves to Jimmy again in the lock, and then back to Jey, and all while he does it, he's looking at Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns not helping his cousins, his family, his blood, the head of the table, not doing anything. This was good. This took forever. It was like a 30-minute segment or something like this, but well deserved because this makes sense. This is good storytelling, and I can buy into that. So I like that. That was well done, SmackDown. I appreciate that. And this was building during the whole night. So this was the main segment at the end. This was building during the whole night with like vignettes and like backstage and Paul Heyman talking to Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman talking to Roman Reigns, and so on. So Edge giving interviews in between, Edge running down Seth Rollins after his victory over Cesaro, which was an insane match as well. This was, if you want to watch one match from SmackDown, watch Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins won this match rather clean. I mean, not clean. Of course, he had some mean tricks up his sleeve in between, but eventually it was a great curb stomp at the end. I'm glad they allow curb stomps again. He stomped Cesaro outside. Oh no, he DDT'd Cesaro to the outside. Cesaro was bleeding like crazy, so apparently that's also allowed again. Was bleeding like crazy and fought back valiantly, but then eventually the injury was just too much, and Seth Rollins overcame it with a really high counter curb stomp, and then 1, 2, 3, and he pins Cesaro, which means Seth Rollins will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. What was hilarious here was also commentary. I know it was not a commentary in between for another qualifying match. Big E came out as the co-commentator. It was for, I think, Shinsuke Nakamura versus King Baron Corbin for the 20,000th time. Big E came out as guest commentary and was sitting in the winner's sofa with like foot massage, automation machines, whatever. And he asked Pat McAfee to join, and when Pat McAfee joined with his feet in this thing and like just commentating there with a handheld mic, that was hilarious. So good on Pat McAfee and Big E for carrying this segment, because quite frankly, I don't care about another Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin match. It's annoying. Here again, Shinsuke Nakamura won clean this time, and it was weird because Baron Corbin had the upper hand, but then Shinsuke just pushed him off. Baron Corbin fell down because he got pushed, and then when he got back up, Shinsuke hit the Kinshasa, and then that was it. What? Like, Baron Corbin right now is a jobber, and it's sad. And how many more jobs does he have to do to Shinsuke Nakamura? I mean, he must have done something to piss off Vince McMahon, because why would you treat him like this? Even if you want to have like a redemption storyline waiting at the end, you wouldn't have him lose like this all the time, because he just looked totally stupid, and it's so annoying. What was cool though was the debut of Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox, only called Shotzi and Nox because main roster fans are stupid and they can't remember any names. So they came out in a tank. Yes, you heard it right. DX came out in a tank to face Tamina and Natalya. Why not? Calling a debut on SmackDown, calling out the champs. And they look great together. Not Tamina and Natalya. Nox and Shotzi looked great together. They were great. They won. In the end, they couldn't believe it. They were really happy. So, yeah, oh my God, we won. But they looked like a real tag team. And that's what's missing in the tag team division, the tag team division on SmackDown. So, yes, I'm all for it. Those two are fantastic. I'm glad they're on the main roster. Let them do their thing. WWE, don't fuck this up. Let them do their thing because they're really good. Nox, so weird to say only Nox. Nox and Shotzi, great. Why does Shotzi get her first name and Tegan Nox only gets the last name? Anyways, Sonya Deville announced that Carmella will challenge Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title. Because Bayley is out, news broke Bayley is out. Injury up to 9 months out, I believe. So yeah, Carmella. Anyways, Liv Morgan came out again, running down her mouth like, I beat you up and so on. So Liv Morgan is now in the women's Money in the Bank match. Congratulations. It's about time, of course. I mean, she should have been there anyways. But yeah, so they've kind of forced their hand right now. That's about all that happened in SmackDown, which is okay. I still like that it's shorter than Raw. I'm still not watching Raw anymore. We had a promo in between with Chad Gable again and so on, but not that noteworthy. Other than that, all the things that I mentioned were okay. Even the women's match, because, like I said, and now you see I don't hate on women's wrestling. AEW, Britt Baker, amazing, for example. In WWE, Shotzi and Nox, great. Tamina and Natalya, I'm glad they let Shotzi and Nox get over there. I hope they continue this because they are really good wrestlers and it's just fun to watch. Then Cesaro was awesome again, of course. Cesaro was Rollins and the main segment was great. What sucked big time was Shinsuke versus Corbin 5000, only saved by Big E and Pat McAfee on commentary being like silly. All right, so still overall it was fine. I enjoyed it. I did fast forward in between a little bit in those segments and those flashbacks and so on. But overall, the product is entertaining, fine, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Money in the Bank. All right, that's it for this week's Wrestling Wednesday on a Saturday for the Funk It Pod. Let me know what you thought about it. Don't forget to share your thoughts, social media at Funk It Pod, email funkitpod@gmail.com, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to kick out a 2. Until next time, see you then, take care, stay safe. Sawadee Cup.